Remedial measure, why it does not work with the children's issue. Now many people try to do the remedial measure for children and childbirth, and they have a huge problem across with regard to the childbirth across, and therefore this is one of the biggest problem as far as the remedial measures are concerned. The first biggest problem is if you are going to try for IVF, if you are going to try for IUI, if it does not work with the doctor with a single time, don't try to go on persisting with the same doctor again and again and again. I know one lady who did 7 times IVF with the same doctor. It never clicked. It had a problem. I always advise them, change the doctor, change, and that is a very important part of the remedial measure. That is very important part of the remedial measure, is to bring in the change in the personality, is to bring in the change with the people, objects, situation, circumstances. So that change is very important. In that, the change of doctor is very important. The second thing is, choose the doctor who are recommended by other people, successful people. Now you might know somebody who would have had a child with IVF. Choose the doctor who is recommended. Not you go and search in the paper, you go and search in the variety of things. Choose the doctor who is recommended across. That will help you to solve lot of issues across. This is another secret, because successful people tend to have successful energy. So connect with the successful doctor. Third thing is, don't get involved in psychic warfare. I know one lady who had a psychiatric child. She was actually planning to migrate to Canada because her child was having a psychiatric issue. There was a lot of psychic warfare she was having with the mother-in-law, father-in-law. There was a lot of misunderstanding with everybody. I told her, stop the psychic warfare. Don't pick up the psychic warfare. Just drop the psychic warfare. It will help you to clear the energy very easily. And I in fact recommended somebody to do the Pada Puja of their parents, and immediately they conceived. He was actually a very rich man. One of his son never had a child, never had an inclination to have the child. He asked, sir, I'm having the problem of having the child across. So my son, what do you do? I actually called him, asked him to do the Pada Puja for the parents, asked him to sit with the kids and eat, and immediately it got manifested across. So this is very important. Stop the psychic warfare, because as you are generating the energy across, you will have a lot of energy which is left out. People become wobbly, people become shaky, they start indulging in psychic warfare, they start trying to fight with the psychic warfare across, and that actually pulls down the energy. For the baby to manifest, you need the manifestation of both the parents or both the side. I know one lady who got married to a Punjabi Sir, and in fact she wanted to get married very close to her family, so she got married. In fact, the child was never coming. The child was having a lot of issues, lot of problem across. She went and asked the father and mother-in-law, sorry, I want to have a child. It's been 8 years. There has been a lot of warfare. Please do let me have a child. Please do bless me across. And she did it across. The moment she did it across, she started getting on better and better, and she conceived across. So that is also another trick, where you don't fight with the father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law. That fighting has to be stopped to produce the energy to be held in the properly across. The other important thing about the manifestation of the children is whom you see is what you become. I tell people again and again. Now, many people try to have friendship with the people who are babyless, people who are like who are not having children, people who are like widows, and people who don't have children. Try to get de-linked with all these people across. Now, if you try to de-link with all these people across, it is very easy for you to have the children across. You have to de-link with the people. You have to connect with people with pregnancy. You have to get connected with people who are having the first child. You have to go on connecting this thing across. This will help you to manifest on the form level. So actually the remedial measure is working on the energy level. The form level, the alignment will be slowly brought about. It is a natural alignment or it is an induced alignment, but you need to bring in the alignment across. One of the important alignment as far as the baby manifestation is concerned, attending pregnancy function, having a connection with the pregnant lady, having a connection with the playing with the children, playing with the kittens. All these things will help you a lot. The other important thing is don't try to bring up dogs, don't try to bring up kittens. They actually become the substitute children. They become a law of substitute, especially dogs can bring in a law of substitute which is very, very difficult to manifest across. So this is one of the another biggest problem with the remedial measure. People to bring in substitute by bringing up dogs and cats and other things across. Now, there was a particular lady who was married and who didn't have any children across. I asked her, are you having dogs? She said, I'm having 5 dogs. They are like my children. I said, you have to get rid of the dogs to have a real children into your life across. The other problem is the husband and wife will be incompatible with each other. The husband wants to have a child, the wife does not want to have a child. The wife wants to have a child, the husband does not want to have a child. Like that, people have a difference of opinion with each other across. So that is also one of the reason. Another one is maybe you would have had a past love, it wouldn't have culminated into marriage, you would have had a very beautiful relationship, it wouldn't have culminated into marriage across. So those kind of things have to be healed, and the soul has to say, okay, I am willing to let go of the past, I am willing to let go with the past attitude, I am willing to reconnect with the person in front of me. Whatever said and done, I have got married across, so that will help me to have a child across. So that kind of a healingness and forgiveness has to be brought about when you are doing the remedial measure across. Now, many people actually try to have a career plan. They try to have a career plan. They try to say, after we build the house, after our career is settled down, when we feel secure, when we feel good about, let me try to have a child across. Now that is also one of the biggest problem, because in the yin model of thing, the women have to get attain puberty, they have minimal education, they go to minimal work, then they have marriage, childbirth. Afterwards the career will pick up, the house will pick up. One of the biggest blocks of having children about is going in for the house commitment, when all the punya of the marriage gets into the house part of it. So please be very, very careful about it as a person. So this is also one of the biggest problem as far as the married life is concerned. People try to encash it in terms of career, encash the baby process in terms of children, like that across. There was a lady who was trying to struggle to have a house across, and that time she conceived and she aborted. I said, after the abortion the whole thing would have picked up. She said, yes, actually my house got manifested manifested, I had a huge career upliftment across. So therefore, please understand, remedial measure are not just done out of the way. It has to be integrated. It clears the energy, it clears the aura, it clears the chakras, it clears the lineage karma, lineage pattern across. But it does not, it is miraculous, but it does not, without you having an effort, without you changing anything, it is not going to have an impact. It will have an impact only if you're willing to change, only if you're willing to bring the alignment across, and that will have a maximum impact in the remedial measure. We have been doing remedial measure for more than 100 people in a day. We have done it for more than 30 to 40,000 people across, and all of them, most of them had a very good result across, because they do what we say. We try to bring the alignment of the people, we try to bring the alignment which helps them to have a better time as far as the manifestation of the baby is concerned. So do drop into our center, look at the area how we do the remedial measure, and connect with us. We will tell you the correct remedial measure which will help you to have a child. We have helped so many people, abroad people, India people, and last of the thing across, sometimes the baby is born inside the place of marriage. For example, there was a lady who came, her name was called Lavang, and she was trying to have IVF here. I told her, no, go to Delhi, go to outside the country across, outside your hometown, you would be able to conceive across. It turned out to be exact where she conceived across. The other important thing is, there was a lady who was trying to have the baby inside. I said, go outside India and you try it out and you can have a baby. She went and tried outside, and the baby manifestation became very easy. So sometimes there was one lady who was trying to have another child for a long period of time. I told, change the house, change the place. She went to Goa and she tried, and there she had another baby, and she went into a new house, another baby happened. So sometimes it is like one event, one baby across. So try to do what best needs to be bringing in change across. We can really help you. We have really helped people with the remedial measure. I wish and pray that whoever is seeing the video, may they be able to apply the information, but also they can come to us for remedial measure for clearing the blocks. Thank you.